Greetings. Today I will talk about the First Continental Congress and its meeting in September 1774. Before getting started, I would encourage you to subscribe to Mossy Feet Books YouTube channel for more great content. If you like my videos, please hit the like button. The more likes I get, the more YouTube will show it to other people, allowing me to grow the channel. I also entreat you to visit my website, www.mossyfeetbooks.com. There you will find sample chapters, podcasts, a slew of contents, and links to where you can buy my books. While visiting the website, you subscribe to it and receive email notifications of when I publish a new book or other content like this video and podcast. This episode is based on my book, A Day in United States History, Book 2. If you like what I'm doing, please purchase a book, as it helps fund my work. The crisis with England had grown after Parliament passed the so-called Intolerable Acts. In an attempt to provide a united response to Parliament and get the acts repealed, delegates from 12 of the 13 colonies on the Atlantic seaboard assembled in Philadelphia at Carpenter's Hall. The last intercolonial meeting had been the Stamp Act Congress in 1765. Organized by the Colonial Letter Writing Network known as the Committees of Correspondence, the delegates met in early September 1774. Committees of Correspondence formed a sort of shadow government among the colonists. They shared plans and coordinated responses to Britain. Around 8,000 colonists participated in these committees during the period 1764 through 1775. Colonial assemblies eventually superseded and replaced them during the Revolution. The committees oversaw the first elections for the assemblies and other functions. These committees were instrumental in the dissemination of ideas and news. They organized boycotts of British goods and toppled the British colonial system. The Intolerable Acts refers to the 5 acts passed by Parliament during the 1774. These acts punished the colonies for their intransient behavior since the first of the taxes levied in 1765. Tensions had increased between the colonies and the British during the 9-year period after the French and Indian War. These tensions came to a disastrous head during the years of 1774 and 1775. The colonists referred to these 5 acts as the Intolerable Acts, the British Coercive Acts. They included the Boston Port Act, the Massachusetts Government Act, the Administration of Justice Act, the Quartering Act, and the Quebec Act. The delegates from 13 colonies that would eventually form into a nation met in New York to protest the Stamp Act passed by Parliament. This was the Stamp Act Congress. This Congress met from October the 7th through 25th, 1765. The delegates met in Federal Hall. During the proceedings, the delegates passed a Declaration of Rights and Grievances. In this document, the representatives declared that because none of the colonies had representative in Parliament, the body had no right to pass laws taxing the colonists. Choosing the delegates to a meeting that was essentially illegal had been a tricky business. The governors of the 2 colonies, Massachusetts and Virginia, had dissolved the assembly. Both assemblies met in secret and chose delegates to send to Philadelphia. The assemblies in Rhode Island and Pennsylvania had also chosen delegates. The delegates from New York had been elected by a special election. Charleston, South Carolina, had chosen its delegates at an open meeting. The assemblies of most other colonies had called special conventions to choose the delegates. Most, if not all, of these various meetings, conventions, and elections were illegal under British law. The Carpenter's Hall was built by a carpenter's company of the city of Philadelphia. The building served as a meeting place for the Carpenters Guild. Construction of the wall began in 1770. The structure hosted many meetings for other organizations, and over the years, visitors may still stage events or visit the building to enjoy its rich history. Carpenter's Hall is located at 320 Chestnut Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19106. 56 delegates traveled to Philadelphia in late summer 1774 to meet in Carpenter's Hall in Philadelphia. Only Georgia, who had demurred so not to incur the wrath of the British government when it needed help with a native problem, did not attend. As the delegates convened on September the 5th, a common question among the delegates had to be, where do we go from here? Written in this day in history format, each of the 2 books in this collection of North American colonial history events includes 366 history stories. The historical collection of tales includes many well-known as some little-known events in the saga of the United States. The easy-to-follow This Day in History format covers a wide range of people, places, and events of early American history. It is the first book in my series, 366 Days in History series. Each book includes 366 stories of American history. It is available with many of my other titles on gardening, Indiana, and United States, Indiana places in history, and at the Ron Weber Marketplace in downtown Batesville, Indiana.